On the night of August 2, 2006, Robert Wone, a respected attorney and general counsel for Radio Free Asia, was found dead in the Washington, D.C. home of his college friend Joseph Price. The case quickly spiraled into one of the most enigmatic and unsettling unsolved deaths in recent American legal history. Despite being surrounded by three seemingly cooperative witnesses, no one has ever been convicted for Robert's death. The details, ranging from the lack of defensive wounds to the puzzling crime scene, have sparked endless speculation, documentaries, and a public that continues to demand justice. Robert Eric Wone was a 32-year-old attorney with a bright future. A graduate of the College of William and Mary and the University of Pennsylvania Law School, he was known for his intelligence, work ethic, and integrity. He had recently married his college sweetheart, Kathy Wone, and the couple had settled in Oakton, Virginia. Robert planned to work late on August 2 and chose to stay overnight at his friend Joseph Price's home in Northwest D.C., rather than drive home. The decision would prove fatal. Joseph Price lived at 1509 Swan Street Northwest with his domestic partner, Victor Zaborski, and their friend Dylan Ward. All three men claimed to be home at the time of the murder. They stated that Robert had showered and gone to bed in the guest room shortly before midnight. According to their story, they heard a scream and discovered Robert had been stabbed. When paramedics arrived, they found Robert lying on a pull-out sofa bed in the guest room, stabbed 3 times in the chest. The wounds were precise and clean, with very little blood present at the scene, something that immediately raised red flags. The inconsistencies in the roommates' stories and the state of the crime scene perplexed investigators. There was very little blood for a stabbing. The knife believed to be the murder weapon did not match the wounds. No signs of forced entry were found. Robert showed no signs of a struggle or defensive wounds. Autopsy results indicated he may have been restrained, paralyzed, or unconscious at the time of death. The three men maintained their innocence and hired prominent defense attorneys. Police suspected that the crime scene had been cleaned before they arrived. Evidence indicated possible sexual assault, including puncture marks on Robert's body and signs he may have been incapacitated with a paralytic drug. No drugs were found in his system, but some experts believe they may have dissipated before testing. The theory posits that Robert was assaulted and killed, and the scene was staged to look like a simple stabbing. The three roommates may have colluded to cover up what truly happened. The defense maintained that an unknown intruder entered the home and committed the murder. Critics find this implausible, citing the lack of forced entry, stolen items, or noise. The home had a high level of security, including an alarm system and locked doors. No forensic evidence was ever found to support the presence of a fourth person. Some have speculated that Robert may have suffered a medical emergency, such as an allergic reaction or overdose, and the stab wounds were inflicted post-mortem to cover up negligence or misconduct. However, no clear evidence supports this theory. In 2008, the three men were charged, not with murder, but with conspiracy, obstruction of justice, and tampering with evidence. Prosecutors believed the trio had conspired to cover up what happened. During the 2010 trial, Judge Lynn Leibovitz ruled that although she believed the men knew more than they admitted, the government had not met the burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. All three were acquitted of the charges. The decision sparked outrage and disappointment among the public and Robert's family, who believed justice had not been served. Robert's widow, Kathy Wone, filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Price, Zaborski, and Ward. In 2011, the case was settled out of court for an undisclosed amount. Though the civil suit brought some sense of accountability, it failed to uncover new details about the night Robert died. The mystery of Robert Wone's death has been the subject of extensive media coverage, including news specials, podcasts, and documentaries. The case's mix of privilege, secrecy, and apparent collusion has fascinated and frustrated the public. In particular, the case raises troubling questions about trust, loyalty, and the limits of the legal system. How can someone be murdered in a house with 3 witnesses and no one be held responsible?